As you know, I'm a cooking teacher, and here are my insider equipment tips 102, and I've got secret weapons for you, so stay with these videos. So one thing I wanted to say is what about appliances? You know, there's a ton of them out there, anything that plugs in, right? So what I would recommend is you don't need very many. And by the way, this whole equipment thing is focused on cooking. Baking is bakeware is something I'm going to do in future videos. That's really a separate category. But if you're going to get, I would really highly recommend, and I think you'll find it useful, a small food processor. So that's one thing I can wholeheartedly recommend as a starter. And you probably will find use for the immersion blender. So you might want to get one of those. And I read, somebody said that, they said because they love their immersion blender so much they didn't need a blender. Not so. I'm going to always keep my blender nearby. But again, I want to remember, as I said before, I don't always like heavy or things, or I also don't like things that are necessarily the top, the most expensive. This is a middle of the road, but better than average blender, and it's fine for me. It gets everything done that I need. So in terms of equipment that plugs in, that would be it. Do I own other things? Absolutely. And maybe over time we can talk about those in future recipe videos, but really that would get you by. The thing I wanted to tell you is that cooking equipment is a lifetime sorting through and acquisition and donating. It's not just you get it done and it's all figured out. There's a lot to it. And how did I learn all of this? And I want to tell you something about that. I am not a minimalist. So I like to purchase things and try them out and have different things. But I think a lot of cooks have more than they could really use. And that's okay. That's part of the fun. But I want to tell you, I love walking through kitchen equipment stores, looking at kitchen items, even at the grocery store. So, and the other way I learned about this, and actually the most instructional was cooking magazines, because they review equipment and they do a very good job with that. So I'm sharing that many decades of knowledge with you. So let's get down to some of the dishes that you're going to need. This is optional, but very nice. If you're going to do any dredging at all, it's really nice to have some shallow pans, and you can use a plate for that, but I just like having these. And you know, another thing that I want to mention is that buying things online used or at a thrift store, some of my favorite stuff has come from there. So mainly when you know what to look for, you never know where you're going to see it if you're wandering around. And then let's talk about, this is key, of course, the tools. How many of these do you really need? Because you know, gadget, I mean, I think we could actually have a whole planet of gadgets. But let's do that in the next, let's start again on the next video with that. This is Get Real in the Kitchen with Deanna Ohlsson, live from Denver. See you in the next video.